The show where there are no penalties, nothing is offside, and everything is fair game. This is The Gloves Are Off.
Welcome to the set of The Gloves Are Off. I am your host, Carly Agro. Joining me on set is my newly acquired cattle branding partner, Brian Curran. Welcome back.
I can't even remember what I wanted to say about it, but thanks for having me back. It was very interesting. Carly did not get to brand. Unfortunately, she did get to ride a horse.
I don't think
Chester took off on her. She rode him so poorly that the poor horse ran away when we finally did it. I'm not lying to you. It ran away.
Yeah.
We saw it on the highway.
In my defense, and I'm saying this so everyone out there, in my defense, the bridle on my horse actually broke. I don't know when it happened, but for a significant amount of time, I did not have brakes. There you go.
Did not have brakes.
I didn't.
Whoa.
I need to introduce the guest today. Brody Foster is here to go one-on-one with his former coach. You are a former Bobcat currently playing at Manhattanville College.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Good to battle with the Colonel, and
right.
hopefully we have some fun.
I hope so too. All right, so I want to talk about the Bobcats off the top because I want to know what it was like for you, someone who played for this team for so long, who's from this community. What was it like for you being away when you heard all of the everything basically going on with the team possibly relocating?
At the start, I was kind of scared for the team, just to hear that it was for sale and that the guy from Whitecourt was going to buy it. I thought, the team fits perfect in this city. There's a lot of support here. I mean, people might not think there is, but I know there is a lot of support here. I know even when I was a kid and watching the Blazers play, it was a great place to come watch hockey, and the rink was always roaring and everything. So, I mean, I'm glad to see that the franchise community owned now, that a lot of people stepped up. The season tickets was amazing, I thought, in such a short amount of time.
We're what, 837 now, I think?
No, no, it's still 700.
Oh, okay.
740.
Anything over, I think over 600 is still amazing to see, and even just with the sponsorship money that all the businesses handed out and everything, it's great. So hopefully they have a couple winning seasons here and fill the stands, and I'm sure that with the Colonel's new acquisitions that they can do that.
And speaking of new acquisitions too, you've got some help now too in the business office. Malcolm Rack, he stepped up to help out with corporate sponsorships and marketing. How much of a help is that really going to be for you?
Well, it certainly helps myself, Kathy, and last year Brody's mother worked for us, Michelle. Too many hats for us, way too many. I think we did a fairly decent job considering where we came from, but adding Malcolm onto this right now, you know, he's a very intelligent man. He catches on very quickly. We threw him into a fire, give him a few days to get acclimated to it and get a game plan ready, and he's really done a fantastic job to this point. Talk about the professionalism, his putting his agenda together and what he's going to do and go through. And this is stuff we talked about. You can talk about it and talk about it all day long. I wanted to see if he would do it, and I've very quietly been just kind of watching him. And he's, if he continues on his pace, I think he's going to be a great asset to the organization.
And just to put it in context, I grew up with Malcolm.
Yeah.
And he lives just down the street from me, and I graduated with him. So I've known Malcolm for quite a while, so it was actually kind of exciting to see him get the job in the first place.
I think that's nice to have someone from invested in the community be a part of the team. All right, so we're going to continue on now with Dump and Change. But if you don't like one of these topics, you can dump it and change and move on to the next one.
Like her branding cattle.
Yes.
Dump.
Yeah. All right, first what I wanted to ask you guys about, this ritual of not touching the conference trophy. I wanted to see, you know, the Canucks, who are so confident this is their year, make contact with the thing. Is it a superstition that should be over and done with, or do you honor the traditional non-touching of the trophy?
I say honor it. I don't know what the statistics are on picking up the conference trophy and then not winning the Stanley Cup or anything, but like I said, you're playing for the hardest trophy in the game. I think that the Stanley Cup's the hardest trophy in all sports to win. So I think that leave the little fish alone and just wait for the big cat to come and pick that one up.
Were you superstitious? Like, is this something that you would buy into?
Traditionally, I'm not. I've seen a lot of superstitious stuff. I've seen people tie the right skate, their left skate first, the whole 9 yards. But you know what? As far as it goes, thinking about it a little bit more, I'm not going to mess up something. If I wouldn't have problems touching that cup. Okay. I wouldn't have a problem. But if we lost, and I had 23 other guys coming down on me. Pointing the finger that you shouldn't have done that. And as Brody alluded to offset, is that if you've got a GM up there sitting there. But see, I disagree. I think one day a young captain
cocky,
is just just confident, that has the complete control of that locker room, says we can touch that and we will.
That's what I wanted to see from the Canucks. That's what I'm saying. That's what I wanted to see after how much they celebrated after they beat the Blackhawks.
Well, you don't want to cut Fozzie off here because he definitely want to rebuts to this.
First of all, the Sedin's not touching a cup because we all know how they play and how they are. Second of all, the only person that I could see picking up the cup is Ovechkin.
Okay.
If they were to make it that far, I don't think he would have control in the dressing room and say, we're going to pick up this cup. I just think he would pick up the cup just because it's Ovechkin.
Yeah,
all right, we've got more talk on this coming up. Don't worry. We got to move on to the next topic. I want to talk about Matty Malhotra being cleared to play. This is a little, I don't know where I stand on this one, but if it's you, Brian, and I know you're going for the Stanley Cup final, do you jump in there and play, or do you weigh the fact that we're talking about the longevity of your career? He's been medically cleared.
But that's a real key question. What does medically cleared mean today?
Right.
I mean, I know back in my day, I'll admit it and say it. I mean, I know I got shot up in a couple games to play.
Yeah.
I did it. And I know what went in my body, contrary to these steroid users who don't have a clue what went in their body. But anyway, Barry Bonds, sorry. Anyway. But the bottom line is that it's a choice, I think, between the coach. The doctors have said, okay, pass. Coach and the player. This is his life we're dealing about.
Yeah.
This is long term. We're hearing more and more stories of people's brains and everything like this. It's a critical decision, but yet it's a Stanley Cup. Where does the line? Where's it drawn? I got to tell you, if I was cleared to play, I would be chomping at the bit to go on that ice, and because you get very few chances at that in that game.
Do you think that that's what it comes down to then, Brody? Just this is like a once in a lifetime?
Yeah, and he'll also be wearing a full cage, I believe, too. So I don't know, maybe if the pressure or an impact of hit could also damage the eye or anything like that.
Is he ready to play in a game like in this series? Is he physically, mentally, is he sharp enough?
He said it best. He wasn't saying I should play, I shouldn't play. He said, I ride the bike, I condition, I'll practice. You can do as much as you want off the ice and on the ice for a game, but as soon as you step on the ice, a game in game shape is only in game shape.
Yeah. And we all know that. And we know, to me, I think it's a very limited role if he sees anything at all.
Yeah.
It's a very limited role.
His presence is there, though, too. All right, speaking about a presence, we got to move on now to the next one. I want to talk about Horton here. And I guess essentially the slap on the wrist, the fine that he received for getting after the fan there with the water bottle. Do you think it was enough? I mean, do you think it was, the whole thing was silly and it should have just been, or was the discipline too lax?
First of all, it's the media that blows it up.
Yeah.
You got
Brian's gonna like that one.
I was already going there.
You got TSN and Sportsnet with their
Look at this video,
they got a 5-6 man panel that decided to spend 10 minutes on somebody throwing a water bottle at a lippy fan.
Yeah.
I think it's whatever.
Too much hype, like just let it be over.
Obviously, Colin Campbell's going to step in and do something because he's got to protect the image.
But do you think he's biased? See, that's what some people are saying too.
But see, the funny part, Fozzie, you bring up a great point because you hit the same one, and this just goes right at the media.
Why are you looking at me like?
Because you're media.
Okay.
That's why. Because you know what? There are certain things that you can blow out. That are big deals. But you take a water bottle and you turn it into like the biggest thing that ever happened. Who does that? Because they wouldn't have jobs if they didn't blow that into the biggest story going.
Talking about me.
I'll talk about you, girl.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it's a really waste of time, really.
Yeah.
Now, if you sucker punch somebody, that's big news. Blow it up. Blow it up. I mean, that's big. He squirted a water bottle.
All right.
So, or Ty Domi pulling a guy into the box.
I'm going to squirt that on you for chirping me.
Yeah, well, bring it on.
The reason why they probably made it such a big deal is because he's been Boston's star so far.
Yeah.
And
scored how many game-winning goals and everything, but it's still just, it's peanuts.
It should have been just pushed onto the rug.
Okay, let's push it under the rug. We'll push it under the rug. We will take a commercial break, but there's a whole lot more hockey talk coming up. Stay tuned.